Oh, why am I like that? Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome to Wednesday. I think I'm going to try to do live streams on Wednesdays. So I think it's going to be a thing I'm going to try to do on a regular basis. I don't know the time that I'm going to do it in particular. Last week I did it a little bit later than this. This one's a little bit earlier. I guess we'll see what the best time is to do this. I don't really know, but I figure each week we'll just kind of discuss some different topics and talk about different things. Oh, it says my audio is duplicated. Is it still like that? Is it still a problem? Can somebody tell me if there's a problem with the audio in the comments there? Or are you guys hearing it okay? I guess I could check to hear it on my end, but hold on one second. Okay. Sounds like the audio is all right. Okay, cool. So, hope everybody's enjoying this week. I hope everybody's enjoying their everything. It's been rough period of time for random stuff, but other than that, we'll just keep on going with video stuff and keep it going fun. But yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out in 2026, and I have to tell you, it's like I really feel like horror fans these past couple of years we've been eating good. I mean, horror has sort of hit a nice little resurgence, and I know that people I know that are just like, they don't make horror movies like they used to, and horror movies suck nowadays, and why can't they make them like they used to back when we were younger, and blah blah blah. And I have to tell you, I think that we're in a really golden age of horror. There's actually so many good movies that are coming out. I mean, last year we've got two of the biggest horror movies I think in recent history that came out, and Oscars have now nominated a horror movie for the record number of nominations ever, and Weapons, another horror movie, got in the Oscars as well too. And the Oscars tend to love snubbing. They tend to love snubbing horror, but this year they didn't. They actually really acknowledged that horror movies really are art, and they are of equal quality to other genres out there. So it's nice to see them getting that recognition. But thank you guys for coming aboard. I got checking out the chat over here. Twisted Guy says my first video channel was the Toxic Avenger timeline, which was fun. I'm actually very excited. This week we got the news that they are looks like the release of Mr. Melvin is coming, where and I actually talked about this on my Toxic Avenger timeline. I've always wanted to do it myself, knowing that the second and third Toxic Avenger movies were made to be one movie, and that they actually extended them and then re-edited them into two movies. I always wanted to kind of do my own like fan edit and make them one movie and make them better. And they're doing it. They're doing it, and it's called Mr. Melvin, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing if their version of how the events played out would have been the same as mine, because as I watch it, I always say like, okay, this probably would have been here and here and here, and it would have been in this particular order. So I'm curious to see if like their version of it is the same as mine. I know that. Also, Twisted Guy also want to know what my least favorite horror timeline is. And I don't know if that means like my least favorite franchise that I've done or least favorite video of mine that I've made. Because I definitely have like least favorite videos that I've made, but they're mostly the older ones that like I just watch and now I say like, oh God, the quality of that was just not great. But I really feel as if over the years the quality of the channel has improved in terms of the editing, the video quality, the sound quality. All of it has improved, I would think. Hopefully you guys think that as well too. I know that my cameras have gotten better, my microphones have gotten better, all of that. But My least favorite franchise that I've covered is not a horror one. My least favorite franchise that I have covered to sit through and that I regretted it, and it was the one that made me actually say I want to stick mainly to the horror stuff, is um, the Transformers timeline. I did not like. I'm sorry, guys. I do not like the Transformers movies at all. I find them really difficult to sit through. They are not my thing. Um, and it was tough because they're all really long. They're all like over 2 hours long. So it was just kind of not what I wanted to do. Um, not what I wanted to do. But believe it or not, because Jonesy says the Amityverse has to be close to the top. Believe it or not, it's not. I actually have fun watching the Amityville movies because they're all so crappy and like cheaply made in like backyard that I enjoy watching them. And I like to see, obviously, sometimes they're painful to sit through. But then sometimes you get ones where, I mean, like as you guys probably know, I love Mark Polonia's movies because they're just so like, I feel like he's putting a lot of heart in there, and it's just nice to see somebody doing something with like $5 in his backyard. I love that kind of stuff. So I don't mind that stuff. It's the people that have the giant budgets that don't care at all about what they're doing. Those are the ones that kind of pain me. John Estrada actually said the Saw timeline doesn't make sense at all, and I actually partially agree because I actually think up until part 7 or so, they actually made an immense amount of sense. When I did that timeline, I was actually super impressed with how well they kept the details together and really made sure that everything kind of flowed and that their flashbacks fit into this little niche that they had done. But it wasn't until they came back with Jigsaw that they started to kind of like not care as much if something didn't fit into that pre-established niche that they had built up. So it's funny because I will always say that I don't care for the Saw movies. I don't really like watching them, but I actually find them kind of fascinating. I enjoy watching the Saw movies for what they're doing. I respect what they're doing. I just don't necessarily think that they're that good. Soapclad wanted to ask if I'd seen Bone Temple. I have not seen Bone Temple yet. I am planning to go see it hopefully this week, although I don't know if it's going to be in the theaters much longer. It's not doing well at all. And I'm actually really excited to go see Bone Temple. I loved 28 Years Later. I know that people are split on it. I adored it. I thought it was fantastic. It was not the movie that I was expecting, but I really liked the movie I got. I love the first one. I love 28 Days Later. I'm not a fan of 28 Weeks Later. I think it has one of the best openings of all time for a horror movie. And everything after that, I think falls off of a cliff. I don't care for that at all. But I really, really liked 28 Years Later, and I'm looking forward very much to Bone Temple. I've heard nothing but praise for it. I haven't talked to anybody that went to go see it at the theater that has not liked it. So that's an interesting thing. Domingo says that Jessa Flux is the modern Linnea, and I would actually agree with that, although I do think that Jessa is a better actress than Linnea was. I love Linnea, but she was never that good at acting. She just had that charm about her that you loved her, even though she basically did the same thing over and over again. But there was just no way to not be enamored with a Linnea. And Jessa actually can act. Jessa can actually act pretty well. I like seeing her movies. So she's always pretty good. M. Drake wants to know how many movies do I watch a day, and it depends on the day. But it's usually for the channel. Like research days, there are some days that it gets up to like 4 movies a day. But some days are, if it's more streamlined, if I'm doing a lot more like intense like editing work or things where it's requiring me to kind of be more hands-on, I'll only watch like 1 or 2. But I've had days where I've watched like 6 movies in one day where I'm just like powering through. It's like Christy and Cy are off doing something, and I've got a huge chunk of time to myself. I'll just power through a whole bunch of them. So Will be great there. Ed Dead has made several comments about Mr. Vampire, and I agree. Mr. Vampire is awesome, and it will be featured on the 80s project very soon. I think it's coming up in just a couple of episodes. If it's not in the next episode of the 80s project, it's not the next one. It'll probably be like 2 from now, but it will definitely be coming up there. I do love it. Mr. Vampire movies are great. Absolutely. So they will be featured on there. Twisted Guy also says, did you hear about the upcoming Pinocchio horror movie, Pinocchio Unstrung? I've seen a poster, like a blurb for it. Curious about it. All of those sort of public domainy movies I will get around to watching at some point. I watch that stuff anyway. I am very rarely happy with what I see. Usually they're not good. They usually end up being kind of flat. But John Strada pointing out that 28 years later is loved and hated in an equal amount. I will agree. I definitely think that I've known a lot of people that really did not care for it at all. And I get it. I get it. If you're expecting a movie that feels like 28 days later or even 28 weeks later, it really does pull the rug out. It's not that at all. So I get it. If you watch it, you're just like, this isn't what I wanted. I get that. I still think it, I just think it's really, I still think it's just an impressive movie. And made me happy. It does suffer from one of my least favorite, one of the big things I hate about movies nowadays in general. It's not so much horror movies because horror movies are cheaper, but it's definitely affecting horror movies as well. As I do not care for the shot on a soundstage look that everything has now, where it's very clear that everything was just done on a big screen, big green screen room, and like all the background is just added in later. The Black Phone 2 was absolutely one of the most garish movies to look at because it was very clear that no one was ever outside. They were just standing against a green screen. Everything looked real blocky. And 28 years later did have some of that where it felt like, people on a soundstage. And I wasn't that part I don't like, but that's almost in every single movie. Thank you very much, Domingos, for the $5 super chat. I certainly appreciate that. I have no idea how Pooniverse will mix a group of killer furries, a child kidnapper, a giant deer, and killer doll of Mary Poppins. I don't know. I will definitely, when they do put out a couple more of these things, I think there's only like 3 Pooniverse movies that are out. 4. I think there's 4. But when they do that crossover movie, I'll probably do a timeline on it to cover it and kind of get into it a little bit more, which is why I haven't covered those yet. But I know that there's several more of them coming, and that's when I'll do it. Wolfman Garsnars wants to know does America know who Jimmy Savile is? Not really. I mean, we kind of do. I'm like, I know about him. I know about obviously the stuff he got into and everything like that, and why he is sort of notorious at this particular point. But I think the general American public does not know who he is at all. I think if I went out on the street right now and said to 10 random people, "Who's Jimmy Savile?" I think maybe 2. So 2 people might know who it was. Fleetwood Prophet says we need a Doll Man versus Demonic Toys reboot with Ryan Gosling. We need more Doll Man in general. Here's a funny story. And I guess I might have a chance to bring this up in the near future, but it's funny because so Christy, my wife, worked on The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg movie, and she was on the costuming team, and the costume designer for that movie was Mark Bridges, Oscar-winning director, costume designer. Mark Bridges, he's done a ton of movies, and at first he and my wife had a rough relationship. He was very not pleasant with her at first, but then over the time they got really close and very nice. He actually requested her for this project coming up, so she'll actually be working on that as well too. But anyway, the funny thing is Mark Bridges started working with Full Moon, and I kept telling Christy, I said, you know what, if Mark Bridges gives you a hassle, just tell him no, you did Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. I don't want to hear it. So there you go. He also did the Transfers 4 and 5. So I would like to meet him and tell him that I appreciated his work on those movies. So you can see it. But yeah, I would love more Dawn. I would like more full moon kind of movies in general, but just not with the budgets that they're dealing with now. But I don't know. Let's talk about some upcoming horror movies that are coming out this year, because there are some pretty solid things coming out this year. So I made a little slideshow of some of the bigger things that have been announced, and we'll take a look at some of these things that are coming up, and I'll talk about which ones of these I'm excited for. Hopefully you guys will place up in the chat which ones you're excited for. I want to hear what of these you guys are planning on seeing, and I'll tell you which ones I'm planning on seeing. I will probably, let's face it, I will probably end up going to see all of them. Maybe not in the movie theaters, but I'll probably end up watching all of these at some point. But we'll see. Before I do, there is a question I need to answer here, because I did say it, but just wants to know, would I like the Toxic Avenger remake sequel? I would, actually. I thought that the new Toxic Avenger movie was flawed. There's things about it I liked, and there's things about it I did not like. I would like to see more from it, so maybe they could kind of fine-tune what they were going for. My biggest complaint with the new one is that I felt that they were trying to do too much, and they were trying to be too many things. I'd like to see them more streamline it. But all right, let's go on to let's see what we got here. Here's our upcoming 2026 horror. These are coming in order of release. These are what's coming out. There's the things. Some of these things are coming out really, really soon. For instance, we got Send Help, which is coming out in just a couple of days, which is the new Sam Raimi movie, which I have managed to avoid trailers for. This is one that I do think I want to see. I don't know if I'm going to go see this in the movie theater. I probably will watch this when it comes at home. I really like Sam Raimi. Obviously, I'm a big Evil Dead fan, as you can see the poster hanging up right here. Love the Evil Dead movies. Sam doing something that's horror related is always a treat. So I do think this will be worth checking out. I don't want to watch a trailer for this one because I'd rather be completely surprised by it. I don't know. I don't think it's a very twist-oriented movie, but still, I would like to. I just want to see it completely fresh. My rules on trailers is if it's a movie that I am probably want to go see, I will only really watch a trailer for a movie that I don't know anything about, or I'm curious about, do I want to see this or not. But when you tell me Sam Raimi horror movie, my mind goes, yeah, you're gonna go see that. You're gonna watch that. So I won't watch a trailer because I'd rather be surprised by it. If it's something that I don't have an awareness of, maybe I don't know the directors, maybe I don't know the creators, maybe I don't know the concept or anything like that, I might watch a trailer just to be like, what is this? What's this going on here? But I will go see Send Help, and I think you guys, from what I'm seeing, John Blue said the trailers seem meh, but it's Sam Raimi, so I'll watch it, which makes me a little nervous. But again, Twist Guy also said, oh, no, I thought it was about the trailers in this specific trailer, but we'll see. Let's see. The next is Domingos wants to know, what do I think of the Avatar movies? I've only seen the first one. I have no interest. I don't care. I really don't care about the Avatar movies. I saw the first one in the movie theaters. I thought it was fine. I thought it was, whatever. It was a cool experience and looked pretty and felt like a cool roller coaster ride. And I never thought about it for even 1 second after I left the movie theater. I tried watching the second one. I watched about 10, 15 minutes of it, and I just realized I don't care about any of this, and I just turned it off. I said, you know what, maybe if I have to do a timeline on it someday down the road, when there's like more of them out, if there's more of them out, maybe I'll watch it. I just don't, I'll be honest with you, I have no interest. Doesn't do anything for me. Our next one coming out is The Strangers Chapter 3, which comes out February 6th. I can't imagine anybody being excited for this. I'm not excited for this. I will not go see it in the movie theater. I might not even watch this one at home. I have next to no interest in ever seeing this movie. Um, Again, I think that if it came down to you should do a timeline on this in the future, because I did do a mini timeline on the first two Strangers movies a while back, but it was before any of the new ones came out. Um, so maybe I will do an update video on it and do like all five together at some point. I don't know. Um, but man, the Strangers Chapter One I thought was just a complete slog. It was just the first movie again, but worse. And then Strangers Chapter Two was like the most unnecessary and pointless movie that I've watched, and I can't tell you how long. Um, yeah, it was awful. And Strangers Chapter Three, if somebody paid me to go see it, I would go see it. If someone was just like, we need to pay you money to go watch this and review it, then I would go see it. But other than that, it's funny because they had there was an advertisement on Bloody Disgusting about how they were doing a 3K in Los Angeles for the Strangers, where they have like traps where it's like you're jogging and you're running, and apparently people are chasing you. The strangers are chasing you, and there's tricks and everything like that. And I thought that might actually be fun to do, and I was just like, maybe I should do that. And then I saw that the prize is that if you make it to the ending, the prize is that you get tickets to go see The Strangers Chapter 3. And I just said, you know what? No, I'm not. That's no thanks. Okay, next up is The Mortuary Assistant. This is a movie that I don't know anything about, really. It comes out February 13th. I do know that it is a video game adaptation, but I don't know anything about the video game. I am, if you guys don't know this, I am a bit of a video game. I don't play them. I like video games. I think that they're very cool. I'm always impressed with them, but I have really fallen out with them, and I just haven't played them for a while. I'm not a fan of the modern game era though, because when I really liked video games, it was all single player stuff, and this modern push for multiplayer and like online play is not my thing, and I don't like it. I love the fact that there was like a Friday the 13th game, but I hated the fact that it was an online game you had to play with a bunch of other people. Like I want to play single player mission games. Like I want to play games like Fallout and Fallout New Vegas. Those were the kind of things that I really liked. The game, the movie says, let me see if I can find like a quick synopsis here. Not even a synopsis for the movie. But the game is about, it's set in 1998 in a small town, Connecticut. Players control a newly hired assistant at a haunted mortuary. Could be cool. I don't know. I'd have to see it. I might. This is one I would probably watch a trailer for, and see if it's gonna float my boat, because video games like video game movies like Until Dawn obviously don't really work. But there you go. John Blues he knows what I'm talking about. Single player games is where it's at. But yeah, I don't know. I play video games to sort of zone out and kind of put myself into this fantasy world. And if you have other people like shouting like racial slurs at me in my ear, like I don't care. I don't want to do that. But okay, here we go. What's our next one here? February 20th is Psycho Killer. This is a movie that, again, I don't know anything about, but it is getting some hype. And it says it's from the writer of 7 and 8 millimeter, and from the producers of Barbarian and a producer of Weapons. So I guess just one dude. But it says that this one follows police officer Jane Archer on her mission to take down a serial killer known as the Satanic Slasher after he murdered her state trooper husband. I don't know. This one I don't know much of anything about, except for the title. This might be a fun one to go into Cold. It's by Andrew. When they say it's from the writer of 7 and 8 millimeter, that's Andrew Kevin Walker. He wrote 7. He wrote 8 millimeter, which I'm not a fan of 8 millimeter, but he wrote quite a bit of other things. I wonder if this is an old script of his that they've just sort of revamped. But here's a fun fact, because somebody else mentioned it earlier way earlier in the chat. But Andrew Kevin Walker also wrote Brain Scan. So this is the writer of this movie is responsible for The Trickster. So I'm curious about this one. I'm not the biggest fan of serial killer horror movies. I do like them when they're done right, but they're not my cup of tea. I'm much more of a monster movie guy. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I have 3 categories that I put horror movies into. I feel like horror movies fall into the category of real life horror movies, which are horror movies that could basically happen in real life, even with some of the more fantastical elements. Like Saw, to me, is a real life horror movie. Like it's rather unlikely, but it is, I guess, somewhat possible that could happen. But then there's also supernatural horror movies, which is where you have your ghost elements and your demonic stuff, like the things that, if you have a certain belief structure, you could sort of think is that it could be a realistic one. Like if you believe in ghosts, a movie about ghosts it could be a realistic movie to you. Or if you're religious, obviously some of the more religious horror movies could sort of fall into that same thing. But then there's the monster movies, which to me are the more just, here's this thing we invented, and no one thinks that this thing, like Tremors is a monster movie. No one thinks that the graboid is out there. So it's just something that's created for the movie and these monsters. So Psycho Killer is a real world horror movie, it looks like, which is, again, not really I like monsters. Give me monster movies. Here we go. February 27th is Scream 7. And I will not be going to see this one. I think I've seen every Scream movie in the theater at this point. This one I will not be going to see in the theater. I don't. Between me kind of not supporting their behind the scenes shenanigan with the firing, I also don't believe. I also don't believe it's going to be a good movie. The trailer looks terrible. I have read the leak. Of what is possible that the plot is going to be. I don't know if it's accurate. If the leak is accurate, which, judging from the trailer, it appears as if the leak might be accurate. If the leak is accurate, it's going to be one of the worst movies. It's going to be the worst one of the franchise, hands down, and it might be one of the worst horror slasher movies ever if the leak is accurate. So we'll see that. We'll see. It's not looking forward, but I'm not looking forward to this one. Jim Wells is great. Said that I still haven't seen 5 and 6. I thought 5 was decent. I had a good time with 5. I liked 6 somewhat. It didn't get, the ending dropped off for me. I hated the reveal of part 6. I hated the reveal. So, all right, what's next? The Bride, the Maggie Gyllenhaal film, The Bride. I don't know what to think of this one. I have no clue what to think. I have watched this trailer. Because this movie feels very much like this could either be really cool and this could be something really interesting and unique and fun, but this could also be a real train wreck. It could be a train wreck. I don't know. I'm curious to see. The trailer makes me curious. I think it could be kind of cool, but it's definitely a different take on the Bride of Frankenstein. And you've got I don't really know who Jessie Buckley is, but she looks really good in the trailer for it. And then, of course, you've got um, oh my god, why am I just forgetting? Why am I blanking on people's names right now? You've got Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster. So I'm curious. Like I said, I feel like I could watch this and be like, this is a disaster, but I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty. It could be cool. I'm curious. Oh, and David L has not seen Night of the Demons, and man, I am now jealous of David L because that is a fun first time watch. You're gonna have a good time watching that. Oh boy, and where's the Monster Squad reboot with them as adults? That might be all right. Like if they have kids, I could actually see that being somewhat decent. They won't do it because of the guy, the kid that played Horace, has passed on, so it just wouldn't be the same. But I don't know. Like for some reason, I could actually see that Monster Squad with them now as adults and their own kids and monsters. I feel like there's something. I feel like that could actually be. It'll never get made. I don't even know what we're talking about there. All right, what's next? Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which I hate that title. I hate that title. I wish they had just called it Ready or Not, Here I Come. You don't need the two. You don't need the two. Just call it Ready or Not, Here I Come. But this looks cool. I will check this out. I liked Ready or Not. I did not like Ready or Not as much as other people liked Ready or Not, but I did like it. I did think it was a very cool movie. But I know a lot of people that were super into Ready or Not and thought it was like one of the best movies of that year and were just blown away by it. And I thought it was good and I liked it. But I wasn't that blown away. But it was cool. So I'm looking forward to this. You know, it should be fun to see some more craziness. I guess my beef for it was in the first one, I was expecting it to be more like You're Next, where it was kind of like, okay, so she is in this situation where she's being hunted, but they didn't plan on her being as crafty as she is, and she's actually going to be able to fight back more than they expected, which is, you know, what Your Next was. But she wasn't that crafty. She really only made it through the movie because people kept saving her and because of accidents. And I kind of wish that they had her be a little bit more of her be the reason why she survived instead of her only surviving because like one of the family members wanted to help her out or she got lucky. So I hope that they kind of lean more into that in this one. But I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm curious. Okay, here's one. They Will Kill You. Now, this is one that I don't know anything about. I don't know a single thing about it. I haven't seen a trailer. I don't know anything. I do like the title. I think it sounds intriguing. It is directed by what did this guy do? Kirill Sokolov. Let's see. I don't even know the movies that this person has done before, so this is sort of a first experience with them. So this should be interesting. I know it's getting quite a bit of hype. It's got Zazie Beetz in it as the lead character. Here I'll read a little blurb. It says a woman takes a job as a housekeeper in a New York City high-rise, unaware of the building's history of disappearances. She soon realizes the community is shrouded in mystery. That doesn't give me much, but I'm curious. I would check it out. I'll be all right with that. I don't know what from the producer Andrew Muschietti, the director of It. Okay, great, but he didn't direct it, so that doesn't do anything for me. I don't think I'll be watching the trailer for it. I think I'm just going to watch the movie. this would be kind of one to go in blind with. Okay, here we go. April 10th. This trailer just went up yesterday for Faces of Death, coming out right around my birthday. Faces of Death. From what I gather, I did read the blurb of this. The trailer doesn't really tell you anything about the movie if you've watched the trailer. The trailer makes it seem like it's a bunch of clips of real death incidents, but it is all of it's faked. And the movie itself is not about that. The movie is about a bunch of people that are either obsessed with the clips. Something I haven't read much about it. I just keeping it kind of clean, but it is not like it's not real clips of death or anything like that. And Faces of Death, let's face it, Faces of Death has never been real. The first couple of Faces of Death movies had nothing real in it. I mean, the so-called electric chair sequence was fake. The robbery with the shootings fake. Guy jumping off of the buildings fake. Everything in it was faked. And I've covered it in the when I covered the second one in the 80s project. I remember going into it being like, okay, this is going to be rough probably. Let's see. And just thinking, no, this is so clearly fake. But it's still real to me. All right, what's next? April 17th is The Mummy, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I wonder how many people are going to go see it because of Lee Cronin's name attached to it. I'm going to guess around 0. I think Lee Cronin has done some good stuff, but I don't know if his name comes with any of that cachet to it, that people are like, oh yeah, he did that, I got to go see it. I'm excited about that. So I don't know if that's going to do it. I know that he did Hole in the Ground, which I found to be kind of a bore, but really pretty. And he did Evil Dead Rise, which I thought was, I liked Evil Dead Rise. Again, same situation. I did not like Evil Dead Rise nearly as much as other people did. I liked it more than I liked the 2013 Evil Dead remake, which, contrary to quite a few people, I thought I do not care for whatsoever. I did like Evil Dead Rise more than that, but it just still didn't feel like Evil Dead to me. It felt like generic possession movie. This new Mummy movie, again, the trailer, I did watch the trailer for this because I am very much not convinced on it. And this trailer did nothing for me. It seems so generic that it's really hard to look at that and go like, oh yeah, I've got to see this movie. There doesn't seem to be much going on here. So I'm probably going to pass on it. I will watch it at home, but I'm not going to go see it in the theater, that's for sure. What's after that? Hokum. Okay, so this is something I know nothing about. I don't know anything about this one. All I know is that you got Adam Scott in it, and it is by the people that made. It's by the guy that made Oddity, which I loved. I thought Oddity was fantastic, and I really like Adam Scott. And having him be in a movie by the person that made Oddity, that's all I need. Just tell me it's Adam Scott in a movie by the person that made Oddity, and I'm on board. I don't need anything more than that. I'm excited about this movie. I will go see it, and I'm excited. Fleetwood Mac's talked about it's over for movies for a few months after He-Man is released. Is that do you think it's going to do good? I have a bad feeling that He-Man's not going to do that well. I was not impressed by that trailer. I guess we'll see. I'm a little bit worried about that one, but I also said that it's Scott's Hellraiser character, and man, I would like to see the revival of that character. Adam Scott in Hellraiser 4 is genuine goodness. But yeah, I don't know. He-Man, I don't know, man. It just looks like Guardians of the Universe to me, not Masters of the Universe, and it feels like so many other things, and it doesn't feel like He-Man. Um, I want to see Conan with on this other planet with these bizarre characters is what I want to see. I want to see that. I don't want to see Star-Lord on Earth trying to get back to home. And a couple people mentioned the he him man joke. That was like that was like my fit. That was like the funniest part of the trailer. I thought that was actually pretty funny. Like his name is He-Man. Like it's like I thought that was super fitting. But that joke was great. Oh, real quick, also Deathstalker timeline. Wolfman got Nar's ass for Deathstalker timeline. There's one up there. There is a Deathstalker timeline. It doesn't have the new movie in there because I did a Deathstalker timeline a few years back, but there is one on the channel. Okay, June 12th. I guess I don't know if we're calling this horror or not, but it is in a way. Scary Movie 6 coming out June 12th. Sort of a throwback because it's got a lot of the original people back again. I don't really care. I don't care. These movies don't really do much for me. I guess it'd be interesting to see what they do in order to poke fun at and what they can make fun of at this particular point. But I don't really need it. But yeah, David also, I didn't know there was a Scary Movie 4 or 5. Yeah, one of them, I don't remember which one it is. I want to say it was Scary Movie 4 that does a parody of Saw. And it's actually kind of funny because they actually do this like trap at the ending of the movie that it was actually the trap they had at the ending of the movie was actually better than a lot of them that they actually had in the Saw movies. I was like, that's actually a kind of a cool idea, but it's in a scary movie. But no, they're not. I mean, they're not that good. They're pretty. I'm probably gonna pass. So, what's next? Evil Dead Burn coming out in July. Evil Dead Burn, I actually am, I guess, a little bit excited for, but mainly because it is by the director is the man that made he made that really cool Killer Spider movie. That he made the what's it called? Infested. I think it's Infested. Let me look up. Yes. The director is Sebastian Vanacek, who made Infested, a really cool giant spider movie. Really liked it. So I'm kind of curious to see what he does with Evil Dead. So let's just hope that the storyline is kind of cool and it has that flavor. I really want someone to... I don't need Ash, and I don't need like Three Stoogie kind of stuff. But when I think of Evil Dead, I think of like creativity, and I think of like things that are very off the cuff and different and unique. Evil Dead to me is not, oh, how gross and violent can it be, and how, oh, look, doesn't this make you go like, oh, wow, look, body torture. That's not Evil Dead to me. Evil Dead is more the over the top nature, the stylized nature of it. That's the reason why the first couple of Evil Dead movies were so great, is because of the style of the movie. And I do think that the 2013 Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise completely lacked that. That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody be like, these movies are about creativity and inventiveness. All right, let's see. But yeah, Domingo says the same thing. The demons are too serious. That's pretty much it. Even in the first movie, where the first Evil Dead is trying to play it a little bit more straight. I mean, you still got them like laughing and like the "we're gonna get you" bit and teasing more than they are just being relentlessly evil. August 21st is Insidious Chapter 6. I don't think I've seen 5. Have I seen 5? I don't know. This is another one that I just do not care. I'm totally not for these movies at all. They don't really do much of anything for me. Um, I still don't know why is the SI in red. Um, I don't know, but I don't have any interest in this. I think that this franchise, I'm not sure how it keeps going, but apparently people go see it, so I guess it's going to keep on making money. As long as it keeps making money, we'll get more of them. But yeah, so if there's one or two more of them, I guess maybe we'll do a dead last on them and I'll watch them. I don't know. Okay, sometime in September, I guess we're getting the Backrooms movie. So it's a movie based on a meme. So I don't know. Curious about this one. I mean, I know very little about the Backrooms. I do know I've seen a couple of the short films that have been kind of cool, where I'm interested in what they could do with this. It's A24, so I'm hoping somebody does this and really takes it down a bizarre route. The concept of the Backrooms is, I mean, it's an internet meme, and it could be really cool. I guess it depends on what they do with it. So this one will be pretty interesting to see what it is. But yeah, Mark Rothenbuehler says it's probably right. Just about a decade too late. It does feel like it does feel like it's sort of past its shelf life of when it could be done. But I'm curious. I guess I'll wait to see what people say about it. I'm not going to write this one off as of yet. This trailer, this poster is not official. This thing is just a fan made poster. But on September 11th, we get Clayface, which is a DC Comics movie. It is in the DCU, but they're making it a horror movie, and it is supposed to be very horror oriented. I guess we'll see when it comes down to it how horror it is, and if it is actually going to be horror or if it's going to be like, because I mean I remember that they said that they were going to try to make Doctor Strange horror, and they were going to make the Doctor Strange sequel horror, and neither one of them felt anything like horror. But I mean, you got Mike Flanagan is writing it, and you got the guy that made Eden Lake is directing it, so it does have horror people behind it, which would be, I mean, I think it'd be kind of interesting. I think it should be pretty interesting. I'm mildly excited about this one. September 18th is the new Resident Evil. Normally, when you say the words Resident Evil, I'm not that excited, but I am excited about Zach Greger. I really enjoyed Barbarian. I really enjoyed Weapons. I'm expecting to really enjoy this. I enjoyed The Whitest Kids You Know. So I'm very, very curious about how this is going to turn out. And I hope that it's cool. I hope somebody finally makes a Resident Evil movie that's actually solid. I enjoyed the original Resident Evil movie. I saw that in the theaters and thought it was entertaining. Not really what I was looking for, but it was amusing. So I would like to see this. I'm curious about what is going to happen with it. I think it should be hopefully decent. So I know that Masoko said these films need more evil in actual residences. They do, but they're usually in giant underground labs, I guess. So this Zombie Killer Yamato says it's original plot, not based on a game, and that's I, as somebody, again, I haven't played. I've played the first two games, so I don't really know anything beyond that. I don't really know where they took the franchise beyond that. So I guess, even if it's not based on a game, I don't think I would notice it. After that is, I think this is the last one I have on here, Werewolf. Robert Eggers' Werewolf, which should be interesting. I really like Robert Eggers. I wasn't blown away by Nosferatu. I thought Nosferatu was gorgeous. I was blown away by the visuals of Nosferatu, but I think I was expecting more from the story than just a straightforward adaptation of Dracula. I mean, it was basically just a Dracula novel again, and I just feel as if you know that story, it was just that story, which I've seen way too many times by this point. I've seen way too many adaptations of Dracula. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the werewolf. I think he does a really good job with visuals and making things look really gorgeous. And hopefully this will be gorgeous, but hopefully it'll also have some cool content behind the story as well, too. I would like that. But that's it. That's all. Obviously, there's more stuff coming out in 2026. I just kind of covered, I think, some of the bigger name things. I know there's a lot more low budget stuff that's coming out. These are all things that I think they're going to be theatrical, that are be theatrical releases. But there's plenty more that is going to be straight to video, and there's tons of movies that are coming out that aren't going to get as much of hype, and there's probably not much buzz for now. But things I'll be excited for later on, as more word comes out. I'm sure there's plenty. If there's anything you guys know of that I didn't put out there, like we just said, James Schomburg's Teenage Sex and Death Camp Miasma. That sounds kind of cool. Domingo says Terrifier 4. No idea if it's this year. I don't think it's this year. But that's not for me. I'm not a Terrifier guy. They don't do it for me. I think Art the Clown is a very cool villain. I think he looks cool, and I think that the performance is great, but the content of the movies is always disappointing for me. But I guess I'll go in a couple of minutes, but if you have any other questions for me, throw out some questions to the chat, and I'll answer whatever questions we got there. Can't get no mention. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Looks like it can be crazy fun. I actually have a couple of friends that have seen it so far and have said that they really enjoyed it, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I think that looks like a fun concept. I'm excited. Then of course there's the Pooniverse movies. I think there's like several more of those on their way. I think there's like one or two more, but then there's the big crossover. Like there's where all of the villains come together in Avengers style. So we'll see. I guess I don't know. Those movies are not good. The Crystal Lake comes this year. That is, I believe, a show, but I think that's going to be on TV. I think I don't know when, at some point this year. Curious about that. Don't have high hopes, but I am kind of curious. I think that the thing that's interesting about Crystal Lake is not the story beforehand. I don't think it's the before Jason drowned that people are that interested in. So I guess we'll see. I think Domingos, are you calling me James? Do you not know my name yet? You're like one of the most frequent commenters, and you call me James? How dare you? How dare you? Ask him if I'm making a Thing ripoff video. I don't have that yet. I have notes for it, but I don't have enough movies tallied up yet to kind of do that. There is a ripoff video coming on Friday, but it's not for the Things. So there's a cool ripoff video coming this Friday that I think everyone will enjoy. I guess the Carrie series is also coming this year, which normally I would say that is something that I wouldn't be that excited about. That I'd be like, do I really need to see Carrie again? But it's Mike Flanagan, and I really like Mike Flanagan. And I'm curious to see if we're going to do something different, or if it's going to be a straightforward, we're just doing the novel again, which again, I think same thing with Nosferatu. It's just like, you might do the novel again, and you might do it more pure, you might do it closer to the actual source material, and it might be done really pretty, but I don't know if I need to see it again. That same story in the same way. I don't know. But on that note, guys, I'm going to sign off. I will tell you that, yes, there's a fun ripoff video coming for you in 2 days. on Friday. Get some rip-offs and clones coming up. On Monday, there is a new episode of the 50s Project coming for you guys as we get more into 1957. And then next Friday is the new episode of the 80s Project. So if you've been enjoying 1985, it's coming up for you there. And there's lots more coming. February has some really good stuff for you as we go along there. John Estrada said a Del Toro Dead Last. And yeah, that's coming at some point. We've been talking about that on our Discord quite a bit. And I think that is coming, but I don't know when. Wolfman Godnar's asked about the new Exorcist, which is coming. I don't know if it's 2026 or not, but there is the one coming. Shout out to Smooth Adventure. Haven't talked a while. And actually, Smooth Adventure sent me a short film he made, and I have not yet watched it. I've been really lax on that. I will watch it. I promise. I will tell you what I think of it. I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. I will do that maybe today. Mark Rothenberg said the midterm elections is probably the scariest. He says we have midterm elections. Are you sure we're going to have them? I'm not convinced we are. Domingos says, will a 70s or 90s project coming? Yes, but probably not until the 80s project is done. My short term, my like plan in the long run is to do them both after the 80s project is over, launch the 70s and 90s at the same time. So, all right, guys, on that note, I'm going to head on out of here. Hope you guys have a good night and enjoy.